So here's the easiest explanation of what resistance lines and resistance levels are, why they form, and how traders use this as a reference point in order to make some moolah.
Okay, so a resistance line is an identified price through which a horizontal line can be drawn that can be typically visually seen by drawing a line through the peaks of a stock chart, since the price of the asset has touched it several times but has not significantly broken through it for a given length of time and has typically reversed to the downside. Now on this chart here, this is today's AMC trading chart, and you can see there was a few peaks here that we were able to connect and create a resistance line and another resistance line up here. Now bear in mind, it can be for a minute, it can be for an hour, a day, a month, a year. This all depends on the strategy that you're using. And the interesting thing is, if we look at the 5-day chart, you will see that resistance lines, they often have a memory. They have a history that over here on June 8th, there was a resistance at this price here as well. So the resistance line is typically seen to be more credible and stronger the more times that the price has historically been unable to move past it unless a specific unique pattern occurs. So the most basic trading strategy would be to sell near the resistance line and then buy near the support line. So if we draw a support line here and we zoom in a little bit, we can see that the chart for a period of time trades between the support line and the resistance line. You can think of the resistance line as a ceiling to the price action. Also, consider it to be a glass ceiling that, if banged on enough by the price action, will typically crack and break through, especially if certain chart patterns occur, which we're going to cover in a different video. But again, back to the basic trading strategy, traders would typically buy around the support line and sell around the resistance line. And the interesting thing is if you're a conservative trader, then you would have a cushion. You wouldn't wait for it to reach the support line, and you wouldn't wait for it to reach the resistance line. You would have a cushion, so you might buy around here and sell around here. And you see that throughout this pattern, you could have bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, bought here, sold here, and you would have made a really nice profit. So another interesting thing to keep in mind is that sometimes when a resistance line is broken, it then for a period of time becomes the support line. But we'll cover all that in a different video. So why do resistance levels occur? Well, technically, it's because the uptrend is expected to pause and reverse to the downside due to a concentration of selling pressure, because sellers, they're looking to sell near the resistance level in the hopes that they're making a prudent decision, as history suggests that it will move to the downside. Traders put in market orders and limit orders to trigger when the price gets closer to the resistance line. Why? Well, that's where psychology comes in. Traders use historical price action to predict future price action, and if enough traders are playing these technical chart games and believe in the noticeable resistance line, then it becomes a collective self-fulfilling prophecy, a herd mentality of sorts. Traders can react to the resistance line in anticipation of past trends continuing into current and future price movement. Now, there's a lot to keep in mind here. Volume plays a big role. Other technical indicators play a big role. If a resistance line is broken and the price rips through it, it'll typically continue to go up until it hits or forms another resistance level, or important technical indicators come into play. If the price reaches the resistance level and the resistance price holds, then it will likely reverse back to the downside. Bear in mind, some people use a zone rather than a horizontal line to chart out support and resistance, but we'll also cover that in a different video. So hopefully now, when you hear resistance level and resistance line, resistance price, etc., you will remember what you learned in this video. Speaking of resistance, please do not resist to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel. More good tutorials coming your way soon.